Okay, now I'm going live. Hello everyone, I am Sanjay Gupta. I welcome you on Sanjay Gupta Tech School. So today we are having part 3 of mock interview sessions and I have Poorva with me. So welcome Poorva on the channel. And I can see with the number of viewers are liking our theme, uh, the way we are discussing question and answers with real-time scenarios and with our experiences. Okay, so let's continue this series. And guys, today we have lots of more questions to discuss, and I'm sure these questions will help you to prepare for your interviews. Okay, so we are already a few minutes late, so without wasting any time, I'm jumping onto the question. So again, I will be interviewer, and Poorva will be giving the answers as interview, and she will explain like how well you can present your answer. Okay, so the first question that I want to ask Poorva to you, what is your greatest weakness?
Okay. While answering this question, because strengths we have discussed in the previous session, what are your strengths? And there are a lot of strengths which we talked about. Instead of using just the common strengths, your communication or your hardworking, you can use different strengths. Similarly, for weaknesses also, we have to showcase our weakness in that way. Maybe a best example what I can share in terms of discussing about your weakness to the interviewer is, for example, my weakness was marketing, and I started learning about marketing and I started exploring more about marketing and I have learned marketing, and now I am sitting in front of you interviewing for marketing position because I have made my weakness to a strength. That is something positive which can be different from common answers, so that we can use. And in terms of weakness, it is always important to add some positive aspect also when you are explaining your weakness. If you will just say that my weakness is maybe I'm bad at collaborating with people or I'm bad at communication, this can be weakness for a lot of people. So you always have to add something positive to that what are you doing to improve your weakness. So if you example, your weakness is your communication, that I'm bad at communication or I'm weak at communication, so I'm trying to improve myself more on that communication skills so that I can make that weakness as a strength. So be it any weakness, I would just say add something positive to it, so that it doesn't showcase as a weakness only, and you also have a strength to make it a positive impact on the interviewer.
Rightly said. So, just want to add one more thing, like the way you will be explaining your weakness. So, just say like how you are overcoming through that weakness. So, you can just take any example. So, as Poorva said, like if you are weak in communication, so you can say like I'm improving my communication skill. So, you can just say like how you are improving, right? So if you tell one or two measures, like you are watching some YouTube videos, or you are recording yourself, or you are having any personalized training, so whatever you are doing, so if you can add on without any fear, so it will actually make a positive impact on interviewer. Okay, so I think it was properly like explained, Purva. So it will surely benefit freshers, because freshers doesn't know like how to showcase our strength and weaknesses,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Next, another question that is also important. So it is also important to see your 2 year, 3 year, 5 year goals, right? And sometimes interviewer asks like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, right? And like freshers doesn't even know like what will happen in next 1 year. So how they can answer this question, Purva?
Right. So it's important for you to also know that what you want to do in next 5 years before you think about answering this question to someone, be it interviewer, be it friends. If anyone asks us that what you want to do in the next 5 years, we don't know. And practically also, it's very difficult to find out the answer for this particular question because we are not sure what life has for us in the next coming years. So in order to answer this question confidently, what you can say is that I see myself more responsible, more mature in coming years, and I want to work towards a successful future for myself so that I can be successful in whatever I will be doing. That's the best way of showcasing you as a successful person in next 5 years. You don't know what's going to happen, but that's how you can portray the answer to the interviewer, that you see yourself as an improved person at every aspect of life, be it professionally or personally also, but you want to grow in both the aspects of life. That is the best, I think, which somebody can use for answering this question.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to add one more thing. So, if you want to answer it correctly, so you just need to deep dive in the career path, right? If you know what career path particular technology has, so you can just explain that career path as your 5 years goal, right? So, if we talk about Salesforce, so in Salesforce we have different roles. So, let's say, for example, you have opted developer role, right? So in next 5 year you can say like I see myself as a senior developer or like architect, beginning of architect, right? But how you will be able to say that? So before that you need to explore that particular technology, and how you can do that? You just need to have a mentor, right? So as Poorva already told you, research is the key, right? You need to research about the technology, you need to have a proper communication with your seniors so that you can interact with them and you can have the answer like what I can do after next 5 years, or maybe after 5 years, if I go in that direction for any technology. It can be Salesforce, it can be Java, it can be data science, AI, or whatever, right? So first you need to explore the career path, and then accordingly you can answer this question. Okay. Yep. So one more important question that I am hearing from lots of people, and I think we already discussed this as well. Like, uh, can you explain why you changed career path? So sometimes, like people, those who are working as a QA, they want to give interview as a developer, right? For developer profile, so they just want to change their career path. So can you just explain like how they can answer this question, or any example that you can relate with this? Because I know you also did some transitions in your career, so I think you can just answer it in well mannered way.
Yes, absolutely. So, career transition, first of all, it's very important how you have showcased in your resume. Okay. So, because that is first touch point, how you have transitioned your career from what you have done in your previous organization and how you have done in your current organization. And then you keep on applying and you keep on switching your organizations. So, you first have to make sure that you are applying for the appropriate position. It should not be a complete mismatch transition. Then it will be difficult for you to explain the same to the recruiters. Especially the transition, the most difficult transition is from non IT to IT. I transitioned from IT support to core IT in Salesforce. That was not that difficult because I had to explain that I wanted to upskill myself. That's why I got this opportunity, and now I want to learn more and move into core IT. But if you're transitioning from non IT to IT, which maximum people are doing nowadays, so in that case, you have to have a strong, solid reason with you that what attracts you in IT. As we have discussed some of the questions in previous sessions also, that maybe good package is attracting you, or maybe job stability or security is attracting you in IT. So you have to use the same keywords in more better manner, that if you are looking for a better opportunity or better learning skill, you see your great career and safe future in IT. That's why you are transitioning from non IT to IT. That is one thing which you can say if you are transitioning your career from non IT to IT. And also, career switches, maybe it may include, like you mentioned, from QA to development also. Within the same skill, if you are switching your career. So that also you can mention that you are upgrading yourself because QA has, you want to be an architect. So just look at the senior or the future vision of that particular profile you are trying to switch to, and you can use that. If you are switching from QA to development, you can say that I want to be an architect. That is why I want to move to development and I'm switching my career. If you want to move to consultant and you are an admin now and you want to move to consultant, then you have a future vision here that you would like to be a consultant in future. That is why you are switching your career to this particular profile. You have good interest in building rapport with the clients, or you are good with engaging with the client, so that's why you want to move to consultant role profile. So even from non-IT background, if you want to do that to be a consultant, you can be an admin for some years or developers, then you can be a consultant. So this type of reasons, it has to be generic. Based on scenario to scenario, the answer will vary. It cannot be the same general answer for everyone because career switches totally depends on profile to profile. So you just have to modify it in a better way to answer it to the client.
Right, and I think this question was specific to experienced people, right? So, for freshers, I have one more question, and this is a generic question, and sometimes when fresher joins particular organization, so interviewer may just want to check like how they will be dealing with the pressure, right? So the question is, how do you deal with pressure or stressful situation? Because sometimes there will be lots of work with you because of the go live pressure or deployment pressure, right? So how freshers can frame answer to this question?
Right. In fact, this question, if it is asked to you in an interview, it's a great opportunity for anyone to showcase a good part because every company wants to improve their work culture. So you can say that there are lots of different ways for handling the stress. We can work on more team building activities like taking some breaks together. Even coffee refresher breaks will help you to handle your stress little bit. And then managing your stress is something which is also applicable in our personal lives too. So if you do some meditation exercises, you can do this, say the same thing to your recruiters also, that I have a good experience in handling my stress in the personal life too, which I will implicate the same in my professional life as well. And I believe in interacting with the team, building some team activities which will help us to reduce the stress.
Right, and I think this question can sometime be asked with experienced folks as well. Like, if you are transitioning from particular role to another role, and if you are asking for more package, or if you are explaining like you worked on these projects and now you want to work on more projects, so how you will be able to handle. So I think whatever Poorva answered. So if you take as a suggestion for this question, so it will help you out. Okay, now specific question for women. So, uh, like, this is specifically for women, so I'm asking in that sense only. So, are you planning on having children or getting married? So, these are two situations which, like, most of the women faced. So, how to deal with such situation? How, like, if this situation comes to you, Purva, so how you will handle that? So, according to that, I think you can guide viewers as well.
Right. So this question is actually not included anywhere. This is a very rare question which we avoid to check. Especially as a woman, you are hesitant to ask about it to someone, maybe to a male colleague, or even if you're a female colleague, you are
Right.
hesitant to ask about it. So that's why it's good that we are including this question in open forum, which will help a lot of women to handle this type of situation. Honestly, this question is not legal to ask by any employer, but still, as an employer, because I have faced a situation as an employer also and as an employee also, that this type of question is something which has to be transparent in advance. There are lots of employers from company perspective, if we try to understand, they face these type of situation that if a woman is expecting, or if they want to take maternity leave, they join the company and immediately they leave. that's a loss for a project, that's a loss for a company too. So it's a responsibility from both the ends, not from the person who is interviewing, but for the person who is an employer, the company also. So that's why they ask this question now after some of the bad experiences. Unfortunately, it's not legal to ask, but still. So, how to handle this situation? First of all, you are not eligible or you are not answerable to this question. If you don't feel comfortable to answer this question, you have all the rights to say no. They will not be offensive. But I would say that will not be the results will not be expected if you clearly say no to their face. Instead, you should answer it diplomatically, like if they're asking about your marriage, because sometimes if people are getting married, they apply in the company and then immediately they need 1 month of leave. It is not practically possible for a company, so that's why they ask these type of questions. So how to handle these questions is, I mean, I have faced this personally. So how I have handled it in my previous organization is that there is no such plan as of now, and I keep things very honest and transparent. If there are any such plans, I will definitely let you know in advance, and I will make sure that I will meet all the expectations of the project and project not because any suggestions of my personal life. So that's the way I think you should be able to handle this question. You don't have to actually tell your plans to them, but you should be able to give them the assurance that these type of activities will not affect their project.
Right. So transparency matters a lot because both the both the ends should be well like if you are like company side, because companies are also run by people, right?
Yeah.
So if you are hiding something and you are leaving in between of the project, so company will also suffer, and same goes with the other end as well. So I think Poorva already answered this in well way. So next question is, uh, any questions related to our family status are technically illegal, right? But employer often ask them to get a read on our future commitment to the job and company. So how we can handle that kind of situation?
Right. So it is, I'll continue the same question what we discussed related to women. If somebody is asking you about family status and sometimes they ask you about how many members are there in your family, they just want to check the stability of a person. They just want to check if we have to call this person to work from office. Right now, we are offering work from home, but now we want this person to work from office. Where the family of this person is actually. And sometimes what happens is, if we are stressed from our family's perspective in a personal life, we won't be able to perform well in a professional life also. So there are companies for employees well-being, they make sure that they check these things in advance, that if about the family status, about the background of that person. So please do not be hesitant to share anything if you want to. So you can definitely share whatever you think that person should know. So it's always good, and be transparent. That's it. It's not going to harm anyway. Ultimately, the other side of the person is also a human like you. So they also have a family, so they will understand. But it has to be transparent in the beginning itself.
Yeah. So next question is, how important do you believe networking and building relationships are in achieving success in a particular field?
Right. So it starts from the minute you enter the room for the interview. It starts from that moment.
Right.
If you are able to build good connection with the person who is taking your interview, you have won half of the battle. The technical skills comes later. First thing matters is your positive attitude and your networking abilities, because they need person who are good for their company, who are good for the team, who are good for the project. So if you show negative impact, or if you show some negative aspect of your personality, that you have anger issues, or you are not good for a team, then it may affect your interview results also. I have seen personally that people are very good with their technical skills, but if they have some negative attitude towards the company or towards the recruiter, or if they have some behavior issues, they will not be selected. So that's why it's important for a person to showcase their positive attitude towards the company, towards the surroundings. It is important, and networking is also important, because if you greet them, like in the first session, if you notice the first question, tell me something about yourself, I suggested you to greet that person with a good morning or a good evening message, right? So that creates a nice networking ability. That you have good networking ability, you will be able to build a good team environment in the company. That is one thing an interviewer will look into. Another aspect is, sometimes networking can get you jobs also. If you are searching for jobs on LinkedIn, and if you see that person has posted some of the vacancies, and if you try to reach out to them, and if you just tell them that you have suitable benefits or suitable skill set for this particular profile, you may be not shortlisted immediately, but when you will give interview, that thing will be there in that person's mind, that recruiter's mind, that yeah, this person tried to get in touch with me. And some of the times you can get referrals also, that if somebody has posted some vacancy, they do not have something in their hand, but they can refer you to their friends also. So networking is definitely important. We as freshers, we are hesitant to network with people, that we don't have anything, we don't have knowledge, so how to say, how to network with people. No, you should not be hesitant. You are a human being, that person is also a human being, so human touch is always there on top of everything. So just try to get in touch with them. And also, when it comes to networking, please do not just start your conversation with a normal hi. It's not going to work. There are people with lots of responsibilities, especially the recruiters. They receive lots of highs in their DMs. So that doesn't work always. When you want to network, just make sure that your one first message is so impressive that you get the response back, and you are able to create good impression and uniqueness in this world. So actually important.
Yes, Poorva, this is the concerning thing. I also receive lots of messages on LinkedIn. They just say hi, and then I just need to ask like, what do you want to ask? So they just say like hi, or hi. I have one question. Can you please help me? So instead of saying that, you can just write the question, and if the reader or with whom you are connecting, if they are able to answer that question, they will reply. Or like in my case, what I do, if I know that particular thing, I reply with the answer. Otherwise, I say like I don't have any knowledge on this, because Salesforce is very vast, and one person, it may not be possible like knowing everything, right? So if you're asking something, so just write everything in your first message itself. And same goes in the interview. Like if you are asking something, or if you want to know something about interviewer or company, so you just need to ask it transparently, right? So in continuation with this, I have one more question. So this is also important. So sometimes what happens when we are finishing up interview, and interviewer just want to open the forum so that interviewee can ask some questions, right? So interviewer just ask like, do you have any question for us? And most of the folks just say like, I don't have any question, and I just whatever I just wanted to tell you, I told you, right? But I think it is not the correct way. If they are saying, do you have any questions, so you should ask at least couple of questions, right? Even if you know those things, still you can ask something about the company culture, or what kind of technology we are working upon, what kind of projects we have, like how much employees are there, right? So Poorva, if you can enlighten viewers about this thing.
Yeah, in fact, if this question is not asked to you, that do you have any questions at the interview, at the end of your interview, I think you should proactively ask some of the questions,
Right.
because it's important. The most important thing is, you can take your feedback of the interview also. Just take that 5 minutes or 10 minutes of your interview as an opportunity to build a great connection with the person who is sitting in front of you. So if you treat them like that way, you can ask the feedback also. So I just want to check how the interview went, and if any improvement or any feedback you have for me. That's a nice thing which will build a good connection and trust between both of you. Next questions you can ask with them. Of course, you don't have to bombard them with a lot of questions. There should be one or two specific questions which you think is the most important one for you to know. If you are interested to know about the work culture and the company, you can definitely ask them that I would like to know more about the work culture of the company, the shift timings, or whatever questions you have related to the work culture or about the company. If you want to ask that, I want to ask that about this company, who is the founder or the CEO of the company, when this company got started, what are the major projects or the products of this company, which technology you are working on. And you can ask about the profile also, about the job profile also, that this about this job profile, what is the main technology that we this profile will be working on. And if you can check more about how many people have been interviewed today, but you have to check the pace of the recruiter, then only you should have the guts to ask this question. If you have not built any connection with the interviewer, and if your interview was not good, I would say don't ask these questions. Then you will just have to say thank you at the end. So it totally depends on your pace, what you have built with the recruiter, then only you can ask these questions. But do ask, at least take your feedback. That is something which everybody can do.
Yep. I think this was the very good question that we considered in our discussion. So now I want to take one question from the live chat. So Prashant is asking, currently companies are asking for more skills for 3-year experience candidate. So they're asking like Apex trigger development, LWC, Aura, Visual Force, integration, and more than one cloud. So he's asking how to tackle these skills for interview. So
Okay, right. So, first of all, I think these skills one should have already if you have 3 years of experience, because these skills will be required as a fresher also. In development, these skills are important. But yeah, let's take an example that they are asking you for those skills, like another cloud, if they are asking you. That is something you must have not learned. So, in terms of that, you can always say that I am learning and I have started already learning this cloud also, and I will be able to complete my learning in few days about this cloud. And if I get this opportunity, I'll be able to meet all your expectations. Whatever you give me, I'm a quick learner, and whatever is given to me, I perform my 100%, and I'm able to learn that new thing. I think that's how we can tackle that question.
yeah, just to add this thing, like now to tackle this situation, you need to divide this into two parts. One is what you have, and another is what you are not having currently. So as Poorva told you, if you are not knowing something, so instead of saying like I don't know about this, you can say like right now I am not having enough knowledge or confidence on this particular tool or cloud, but if you give me an opportunity, so I can quickly learn this thing through trailheads or some like YouTube videos or Udemy courses, whatever way you want to learn, right? But interviewer will be impressed with this answer if your first part is strong, like what you know, right? So you can say like these things I know. You can ask any question from these things, and if you are able to impress interviewer, then if you tackle the things which you doesn't know, so those things like you can tackle with your knowledge only. So if you are able to answer those questions well, then interviewer will be having a trust on you. But if you are not able to answer those questions, then interviewer will say like you are saying like these things you know, but you are not able to answer these questions. So how I can trust you, like in future you will be able to learn these things quickly, right? So this way like you can tackle. So for 3 years experience candidate, I think admin, flows, Apex, like Apex, trigger, test classes, asynchronous Apex, uh, integration, and Aura and LWC. So I think in 6 months you can learn everything. If in 6 months duration, if you have 3 years of experience, you should be good enough on these things. Now talking about cloud, so in 3 years you cannot learn all the clouds. So you should have knowledge of basic clouds like sales, service, right? So these are most common clouds. One is Experience Cloud, which is earlier known as Community. So that also you can learn because it is totally point and click. So these three you can learn. Other clouds, as per the requirement of the projects, you can learn on demand, right? So this is the way I like. If this question is asked to me, this is the way I would have answered this question to interviewer. But
Yeah, and also I would like to add something here because this is a very common question people are facing nowadays. So I would say at least have basic information of everything. What is Omni Studio? What does it exactly do? If you don't know in depth, but you should be able to explain the basic marketing cloud, commerce cloud, finance cloud, health cloud, whatever clouds we have, at least have basic information. It will just take you a minute to read the definition on Google. It will not take more time. So if you at least know the basic of all these clouds, because this is important. Nowadays, sales cloud and service cloud is not enough. We know that. So if we know it already, then we should explore more about these clouds. If not full cloud, then at least basic knowledge of all these clouds, you should do that. It should be mandatory, I think, for people who are searching for jobs.
yeah, exactly. And when you say like I know this thing, so you should know that thing thoroughly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think whatever question we have prepared, so we already covered. So like any other suggestions? Like we conducted 3 sessions on these generic questions. So we are going to conclude these sessions today, and from next week onwards, we'll be starting technical sessions. Those will be specific to Salesforce related questions. So Poorva, if you want to summarize these 3 sessions, so what should be the key takeaway of these sessions for viewers?
Right. So, as we have already talked about multiple scenarios, and I think we have covered most of the scenarios which students or professionals may face in their interviews. Two things also I would like to talk about: one question related to notice period, and one question related to salary. Right. So, if somebody is asking you about what is your notice period, and they are asking you to negotiate, I would say you have to be diplomatic in answering, because some of you may lose job because of these questions also at the end. Even after clearing 4 rounds of interview, I've seen people losing their jobs because of these two questions, right? So if you have to make sure, if you're serving notice period of 3 months, for example, so rather than saying that my notice period is 3 months, at that time at least just show some assurance that it is 3 months in my company, but I can definitely speak to my manager if this can be negotiated. And this thing you have to say after the end of your interview only, because if you are good at your skills, sometimes company will consider you. If they will be ready to wait for you for 3 months also. But it all depends on how your interview has went. If your interview was not good, it was normal, then they will not wait for 3 months. They will hire someone who is ready to join them as soon as possible. But that's how you should tackle this question, that it is 3 months, but I can definitely speak to my manager to negotiate, and then you can take it further. Sometimes you get the negotiation also, it works, but we think in our mind that it will not work. So you should not be negative, at least in this question. Then salary negotiation is something which we all face, and sometimes the bar, that there are companies which has set some bar for the profiles. So for example, if they are hiring for a package of 4 to 8 lakhs only, and you are asking them 20 lakhs of package, they will think that even if we negotiate, this person is not going to fit into the bar at all. So rather than just jumping on to the high package, I know we all want high packages, right? Even after the switch or as a fresher also, we want high packages. But make sure you check the net value of that package in the market also, that what is the in demand packages which is being offered by other companies. So in order to tackle this, you can always say that I am happy to accept the package as per the company norms, but my expectation is between 15 to 20 lakhs. If I get this package, it will be good for me. So you are putting the HR into both the situations, that if they want to offer something as per their bar, they will be able to offer you. And if they want to, if they really like you, they may offer you the package also you have quoted. Also, in terms of suggesting your package, always set up a big bracket. If you just say 18 to 20, then there are high chances that they will not give you the package close to that. So always make the big bracket 15 to 20 or 8 to 12. That is how you will be able to fit in some or the other bracket of their package what they're offering. So these are two things which just came into my mind, which I thought we can cover in this whole series. And in order to sum up, I hope these videos will be helpful for many because we have covered most of the scenarios. And if in case you have any further questions, also you can reach out to both of us at any point in terms of clearing your interviews. And I hope you all have just made the notes also for all of these questions which were included in these sessions. Yeah, so that's it from my end.
Yeah, thank you, Poorva. So, guys, I think in these three sessions, we have covered almost 20-25 questions, and we shared our personal experiences, or you can say like professional experiences, and tried to guide you so that you can prepare well. And this is not the best case, we just shared our opinion. So, you can take our opinion as uh, key takeaways from these sessions, and if you have different opinion you want to add on, so you are free to do that, right? So now next week onwards, like first we are targeting Salesforce admin, right? So we'll be having few questions from basic admin thing like data security, object model, and then we'll go for flows because flow is very important topic nowadays. And in interviews, interviewers are asking questions from flow because we have different types of flows available. So we'll try to cover those first, and then we'll go for development related questionnaires. So like me and Apurva decided, we'll try to cover around 20 sessions. So three we already conducted, and we'll try to have 15, 16 more technical discussion sessions, right? And we'll make sure so that we can answer those questions. We can answer those questions. So sorry. So we will make sure so that we can answer those questions uh, by relating the project. So one project which I already demoed, that was recruitment project, right, with you. So I will try to explain my answers with that. And sorry. Okay. So actually, uh, I have planned one more session. So Abhishek is trying to join the meeting. So sorry guys for this. Okay. So I was saying like we'll try to answer the questions with respect to the project that you have already implemented, right? So I think with this note we can just wrap this session here only. And like Poorva will be connecting offline so that we can prepare a questionnaire for the viewers, right?
Sure.
So thank you so much for sparing time for these sessions and sharing your insights with the audience. Okay.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining the session. And we'll be having soon Omni Studio session. So like Abhishek, you can see already trying to join. So we are ending this session. So just join this session in 10 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.